It makes sense. And instead of working with me on a thoughtful piece of legislation, I begged them to hold up the bill, to work on some amendments so I could sign it. They refused. I begged them to work with me on the work group so we could work together to implement a successful body camera program. Refused. Just pushed it through and said, either you're for body cams or you're not, which is it's really not being truthful with the public. I have a group that body cameras were discussed over a year ago, and my strategic plan for the police department moving forward, that's public record. I have a work group that's working to implement body cameras right now. I've said it out of my own mouth. The commissioner has said it out of his own mouth that we're in favor of it. We just want it done right. It's too important to get right, to rush something through just for the sake of saying that you did it.
Madam Mayor, this one is something that, you, as a mayor, you got a lot of problems in front of you and you deal with them. But I was so happy because I happened to remember one of the biggest complaints I had when I was in that was, believe it or not, was 2 or 3 neighborhoods that constantly came at, what you gonna do about this rat problem? And when I saw what you offered up, I said, why wasn't that happening a couple of years ago? But tell us what's going on with the rat rub-out, man.
You know, with the rat issue, you know, it struck me as we were going through the budget process that I could not remember a time where our rat eradication was getting the satisfactory marks from the public. Never. I couldn't remember a time of when did we get it right, and I kept thinking to myself, wait a minute, we're about to do the same thing again this year. You know, it might be moving around the resources, but it wasn't attacking the problem in a different way. And I said, there has to be, you know, I know it's kind of corny, but in my head I said, there has to be a way to build a better mousetrap. We have to figure out a way to do it better. And I'm really, really pleased because consistently the Department of Public Works looks for ways to do more with less, to attack problems from at a different angle to try to get us better results. And that's why we expanded the street sweeping throughout the entire city. That's why we have the pilot program with the municipal trash cans, because we know you have to cut. You got to stop the park. And the rats, you know, they are out in the street having a good old time on all of our trash. And when you throw trash out the wrong way without the proper lids or just in bags, you know, that's for them. That's keeping the party going. They're out there. You know, they're out there. The female rat can have 2 litters a month.
Rats.
So all they need is a food source and a place, and we're giving it to them. So we're looking for ways to cut that source off, and I'm really, really pleased because, you know, we're improving that rat eradication program, and we're going to concentrate on those 9 districts, and I'm sure one of those where your former constituent, that where we have the problem, we're going to target them using data. We're going to use that data to send out our deployment of resources, and we're hoping to see a cleaner city and therefore a healthier city. And our goal is to work to be free of rats. Finally,
Ms. Moulton, I hope you're listening. Appreciate what the mayor just offered up. It seems like you got a city stat program to go after just the rats. I like that.
One of the reporters asked if this was going to be the beginning of rat stat. I just wanted to see the end of rats.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, rats carry disease, and we know how it makes communities feel just to know that their neighborhoods are besieged with rats. So we're working very hard to eliminate this problem, and I'm hopeful with the citywide street sweeping, with the pilot program, with the trash cans, with the pilot alley cleaning. We're taking hundreds of tons of trash off the streets. So my hope is with this more strategic, aggressive focus on rat eradication, we're going to see good progress and have a clear roadmap to how to do this all over the city.
And just as a sidebar, those of you elected officials newly, particularly listening, 18 years later, I still remember Ms. Pearl Moulton, a constituent who dealt with me harshly at times because she thought I wasn't able to get done what she asked. So when you know it sticks in your mind as a constituent, call your elected officials, be nice about it, but you can be persistent, and that's all right. Madam Mayor, I was noticing in the paper that you put a strong, which I just finished earlier this morning, on the immigrant executive actions that will help Baltimore. And I was unaware, and I just, as much as your office sends us good information, I was unaware that you have created this Mayor's Office of Immigrant and Multicultural Affairs, which is good and needed. You feel that this is going to definitely help the city, I gather.
Oh, definitely. You know, that it is. I think it's very important to recognize that we have a broken immigration system, and we can tell based on the last election that it's not going to be fixed anytime soon. But we all know that immigration has been the foundation on which not just Baltimore City has been built, but what our country has been built on. And instead of trying to demonize people who aren't born here, we should try to figure out how to be inclusive so we can continue to grow our city. And, I just always say that we have to resist the urge of jumping on that bandwagon that is us against them. The way that I hear some people talk about, particularly those Latino immigrants, is the way that people talk about us. And the way, that people have talked about other, groups have been discriminated against. We have to do a better job of being a more complete and inclusive community. And that's, for me, what the executive order was that I passed, and what supporting the president right now is about. When I go out in the community, and the immigrants that are moving to Baltimore are of all hues, all religions. People are coming from all over that want to make Baltimore home. Many of them are starting their own businesses. They're creating jobs. They're adding vibrancy and strengthening our neighborhoods. We have seen a lot of positive progress based on the influx of new Americans to Baltimore. And for me, Baltimore's future depends on all of us moving forward, not just certain segments of our community.
We're going to take a short information break, and we're going to come back. Madam Mayor, I want to talk to you about at least two more things. One is, how do you feel about the fact that Baltimore City delegation will have another chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, which you know a little bit about?
Okay. Yeah.
And hold tight, and we'll talk to you also about the city circulator. So, a little break here.
City circulator.
On 1010 WOLB.